Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing the top 5 Rolex models that you can buy under $5,000. Now the first up is the 1601 Rolex Datejust, and this is a pretty classic watch. The Datejust never really went out of style, and this exact model on the screen is a black dial with silver markers there. Features the Jubilee bracelet, which you got to be careful on because some of these Jubilee bracelets are really stretched out, and that's one thing you got to watch out for when you buy one of these pre-owned. Now the watch is 36 millimeters. It is COSC certified, and you can find these, the ones from 1970 to 1979 era, for about $2,500, about $3,000 for the two-tone version with the yellow gold in the middle and the bezel. And it's a great watch, you know, perfect size, and yeah. Now at number 2 is the classic Rolex Submariner 14060. Now this watch you can find for about $5,000, $4,800, and it's 40 millimeters, just like the current version. I believe this model was discontinued in 2010. It doesn't have the ceramic bezel and the new glide lock like the new Rolex Submariner, but you know, it costs less money also, and it's an older version. It does feature the automatic 3000 movement, has the sapphire crystal, comes on the Oyster bracelet, has a lot of fine adjustments, so it's definitely going to fit your wrist. Now, it does have the Rolex sign, little flip lock, and the small diver's extension. Now, the new Rolex non-date is 7,500, comparable to this at, you can find them for about 4,700 if you dig around, or about 5,000 usually. It does have Luminova, and it's an all-around great and classic watch that's going to hold its value. Now, coming in at number 3, the Rolex Explorer II 16570. Now, you can find this model in either the white dial version or the black dial version for about 4,200 to about 4,800, depending on box and papers, condition, etc. Now, this watch, it's a GMT watch. It's 40 millimeters. It's cost certified as a chronometer. It comes on the Oyster bracelet, which some people like, some people don't. Once again, you want to check with the stretch on these. Some of them get pretty beat up, and they can be pretty wobbly. It also has a date at the 3 o'clock with the famous Cyclops. It's a pretty classic low-key watch, and it's going to retain its value over time or increase in value, in my opinion. It's definitely one of the underdogs of the Rolex lineup. And you do have that GMT function to hold your 2 time zones for when you travel. So under $5,000, you're getting an automatic watch with a date and a GMT function from Rolex for anywhere between $4,200 and $4,800 US dollars. Great deal. Now coming in at number 4 is the Rolex Milgauss 116400. Now the Rolex Milgauss, if you don't know, is basically a watch that's extremely anti-magnetic to high frequency stuff like that, and that's basically the whole purpose of the watch. That's why you see on the seconds hand you have that lightning bolt and that nice little orange. And the Milgauss pre-owned, like I said, all these watches are pre-owned prices. You can't really find these new. And it's about $4,800 to about $5,000 on the pre-owned market. Has a cost certified 3131 self-winding movement. Has a nice polished steel Oyster case with a smooth bezel. Like I said, it has that orange lightning bolt seconds hand. It's completely anti-magnetic. You're getting a newer style bracelet, not one of the older ones like on the watches I showed prior to this one. And it's a pretty modern Rolex that's, you know, it's one of the underdogs also, in my opinion. You don't really see it as much, but it's definitely coming up. And in the future, there might probably, you know, they might probably be worth a little more money. But it's definitely a really nice watch. We do not have a date on this watch, just a plain, perfect symmetrical dial there. And yeah, coming up next will be the Rolex Oyster Precision. Alright, number 5 and the final Rolex watch under $5,000 is the Rolex Oyster Date Precision, which is kind of a vintage watch. Now, the one I'm talking about is the one from 1980 to about 1989, and they are 34 millimeters. They do feature an acrylic crystal, not a sapphire crystal. They are hand windable, as you see, and they do not have hacking. So that's a downside, but the price of this watch at about $2,000 to $2,400 for a decent condition one is pretty good for a Rolex watch. It does not have a date, it's just a plain dial. The hands are a little different than your standard Rolex hands due to it being a vintage watch. You can also find some without the bracelet for about $1,000 even from the older ones from the early 70s, I believe. And that's going to be it for today, and I hope you enjoyed the video and found it useful. You can check out my other videos if you have some free time, or subscribe to the channel. And definitely tell your friends, share the video, throw me a comment if you have a question, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.